We live, man. We are live. We are here.
I see. I see. We are here. We are here. We are here. And boy,
Man.
oh boy, the scene presents Dame $61.
Name $61. All 61 of them. Mr. Nasty style. Make sure you watch yourself now. 'Cause Dame ain't playing games out here with y'all, man. Y'all better be careful.
They better because dude is out on a mission, man. Uh, I'm jokingly saying this, but Skip Bayless may have pissed him off.
May. May. Man, no, no, he not that's not a May to that.
Because I actually watched that interview. Well, not the interview, but I actually watched the Undisputed, which I pulled up on YouTube. I'm not watching that show like that, but put on YouTube in that segment, and Skip made it be like he came to his yard. But watching Dame and his interview with Carmelo, he was making it seem like Skip came to him. But either way, I understand both sides. Skip, with all the ignorance he does say, he does have a job. He has a job and he has to do it. So I totally understand where Skip came from, but that whole I'm gonna say what I say because this is me and I don't back down. You may not want to take that perspective, especially in today's world where you got people that's just very opinionated. They're very opinionated now, and they think they can say whatever they want to say. You can be seen. You can be touched. You can be whatever. You can anything's possible now. Anything's possible. So quit playing with these folks' names, and that's what Dame is basically saying. Quit playing with these folks' names because you really don't know how people get down, and people got to understand that too. So
After the game, Dame said out his mouth, he didn't come here to waste his time.
he
Make sure
did.
y'all understand what he said.
He
He ain't
did.
come here to waste his time. So if he didn't come here to waste his time, I want y'all to understand something. When a man tells you he didn't come here to waste his time, that tells you everything you need to know right there because he's not here playing with people and trying to act as if, as much as he was against the whole thing, he basically said if he came here with an opportunity to get in, he was gonna make sure they got in. And right now, currently, they are the eighth seed. There is nothing that he has done on that floor that has hurt his team. He had a game against the Clippers where he missed a couple free throws late in the game. But tonight he came back after that, after they trolled him for a minute, came back after that, and the man then dropped at least 50 in the last two. Man had
61.
61, 61, including
61.
including the game tying three. That was from 45 feet.
Man, he shot this so deep, and God must have touched that ball, and it went straight in.
It's
It went
bad.
straight in. And you know what? That was the biggest shot of the game right there.
Hmm.
Because if he hadn't hit that shot, and Dallas come back and get fouled, they would have been up five. But
Dallas
that
would have been
shot
up five.
tied the game. That shot
And
tied the game.
it actually changed the momentum because after that, Porzingis ended up fouling out
Porzingis fouled out. Sure
the
did.
very next play. I
He
mean,
sure did.
and that's another thing. This is something that I have a problem with when it comes down to pick and roll basketball. We were talking about this during the whole stretch. Porzingis, if he's going to play the five for them, he has to step up and hedge on that pick and roll.
He can't.
That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem
They're gonna go
coming
at that.
down.
They're gonna go at that all series long.
Oh man, it's look, Luca. We got to make free throws down the stretch.
That
I
too.
mean, we can't miss free throws down the stretch. He missed 2 out of 3 free throws down the stretch, and here you are losing this game, and you lose it by a possession or two. Those are part of the reasons why you're losing the game. Dallas also shot too many threes when they were getting fouled when they were going to the hole the last 3 minutes of the game. I mean, Portland could not stop fouling them. Why are we shooting threes at this stage? We got to do better at that. To add on to all of that, man, I can honestly tell you the truth, man. I think Dallas is in a situation where they don't want to play the Clippers. They was trying to get to be able to play Denver. I don't think Denver's a good matchup either. I think it's all bad. I think the whole aspect. I just think this is the bad year for the Mavericks. I just think it's a bad year for the Mavericks. Um, the unicorn is their biggest mismatch going into the playoffs. Luca is their best player, but at the end of the day, it's still a lot of things that the unicorn don't play with his back to the basket. The unicorn is a shooter and a guy who's gonna knock down jumpers. He ain't no guy who's gonna put nobody on his hip and do make nothing happen that way. So that's what Dallas needs at this stage. They're a jump shooting basketball team that have limited playmakers, and to go on along with the limited playmakers, they got a lot of stuff that they're gonna have to do. Um, I'm not looking forward to them folks against this in that first round matchup because it's looking like it's going to end up being them against the Clippers. Because with that loss tonight, that puts them completely out of contention for the 6th seed. Um, yeah, man, it don't look too good. It don't look too good.
How the thing about Dallas is their biggest advantage on one end is their biggest liability on the other end.
Yep.
Kristaps Porzingis cannot step up where he cannot hedge. He don't know how to hedge. I don't know what it is, but I think Portland in this game tonight was they had the perfect screen and roll action with Nurkic being guarded by Porzingis. It didn't matter who was guarding Dame, they was going at Porzingis. They was going at him. They was going at him because he don't know how to guard it. They either gonna dime it to Nurkic or Dame got a shot.
Shot a mid range 3-pointer,
It
or he
wasn't
got to
even no
drive to the basket.
down the mid range. That wasn't it.
No, no, no. I'm just
He
saying
was gonna
he
shoot a
got whatever he
bomb.
wants.
He was gonna shoot a bomb, or he was gonna get to the rack. He was gonna get to the rack like he did Luca. He
If you
did
got a
Luca
three-way
dime.
go, if you got a three-way go, that's you not being stopped. It's
He
not
can't.
very much you can do.
He can't do nothing with it. He can't do
So,
nothing with
I mean, I think overall what we have here in this situation is we have a situation where the eighth seed is the one team, as we said before when we talked about this bubble for the restart. I said Golden State ain't walking through that door anytime soon. The only somebody who didn't beat Portland in the last couple seasons is a team that ain't walking through that door. So this is gonna be real interesting to see who's gonna be able to put these folks out. I don't know if it's a chance that they can, still not make it. It's a chance. The Grizzlies is a half game back, but the Grizzlies look like they about to lose this game too. Phoenix is a half game back.
it. Mhm.
I mean, the Spurs is a half game back.
They need help. Spurs need help. Spurs need help. Phoenix need help. Spurs and Phoenix need help. Spurs need two teams to lose. They need two teams to lose, and they handle their business. If they do, they're gonna be in the ninth spot. And with their ninth spot, they gotta beat their 8th seed twice. With Portland has exceeded the 8th spot. They control their own destiny. If Portland wins, Everything else is uncivilized.
I mean,
Um,
I could see the Grizzlies.
Memphis need Portland to lose.
I could
Phoenix
realistically.
just need Phoenix need Memphis to lose. Phoenix need Memphis to lose. Memphis, if Portland lose and Memphis wins and Portland wins, I mean if let me get this correct.
If
If
Portland
Portland
lose,
lose, Memphis win, and
and
Phoenix win, Phoenix is in the ninth spot. Phoenix is in the ninth spot. So I don't know how, what, but this is, hey, like what Dr. Dre said, let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West, a state that's untouchable, like Elliot Ness. It is going down. Hey, we got another guest here, man. Y'all know him, Big Shot. We in the building.
What up, though?
Hey, man, it's just wild, man.
what's down?
Give
Sports, the greatest reality show ever.
best ever. Big Shot. We gonna let you go at it, man. Dame 60.
Well, before that, we got Giannis headbutting people. So we got Giannis headbutting
How am
folks.
I missing this? How am I missing this? I need to be watching that right now. My kids.
First of all, shout out to TNT for showing the Kings and the Pelicans. Like, okay, all right,
This is the reason why we're on right now.
yeah, we're on because a game that should have been played on PBS is on my TV right now. But the man of the hour is definitely Dame. 61 points, served it up any which way you wanted. 17 field goals, 9 of them are threes, 18 for 18 on the line, and just
18 foul shots.
But I mean, it's the old phrase, right? Refuse to lose, and we wasn't having it.
You know what's so special about Portland that I always see? When one is down, it's somebody that's gonna pick up the slack in that guard department because CJ didn't show nothing. He did not show up. But Dame just refused. He refused to lose. Melo refused to lose.
And Melo is a bubble all-star too.
Oh yeah.
Melo's in the bubble all-star squad for sure.
He's there. He's there. So I mean, that's just it. I mean, it's just amazing, man, that we talked about this bubble. We talked about this bubble at the beginning when the whole COVID went down. And Big Shot, you said it. Me, I was the ringleader of it. I'm like, I just don't like how this is gonna go.
Yep.
But being the system that they got, these players are healthy. In 3 weeks, we haven't seen a corona or a COVID positive test in 3 weeks. I want to say,
Yeah.
within that bubble, they doing everything correct, man. They showing the world a way to defeat this. They showing the world to defeat
everything. It has gone 100 times better than I thought it was gonna go. Like, and I will hand to the sky, like, this is a terrible idea. I don't think they should do it, and I am glad to be wrong. You know, being wrong is not always a bad thing. And I was definitely wrong on this, and this has gone better than I thought it was ever going to go. And it has set up a great day Thursday. Like tomorrow, you can kind of maybe take a little bit of a breather tomorrow and kind of relax. But Thursday is going to be wild because every game Thursday means something to somebody. And
This is the most interesting part about this, right? We just
mhm.
seen Dallas play their heart out because they didn't want to play the Clippers.
Right.
That's crazy. Not only that, we just seen a Utah team. The Utah team we just seen, they pretty much solidified their spot. So they kind of just chilling. So Utah is content with being where they are right now, being able to play Denver, which I think Denver is a team that they could potentially work with and they could potentially beat, right? So with that being said, the only teams that we got that's still flip-flopping is you got the Thunder and the Rockets, which they playing each other, so it really don't matter. Like I said, the Thunder won the season series between them and
Hmm.
the Rockets. They won 2-1. So they're one game back. So if the Thunder beat the Pacers and the Rockets choose to not play no more, we looking at a situation where the Rockets could end up falling to 5. Here's where this gets real interesting. If the Jazz, for some reason, decide that they want to play and the Rockets or the Thunder, one of them end up with 28 losses or 29 losses, that's how the Jazz is going to end up jumping the Thunder or the Rockets.
So the Jazz can end up being third
The Jazz could end up going up to 5
of the
because the
five.
Thunder are literally a half game ahead of them.
Who's six? So who is third right now?
The
Denver.
Denver. Denver's 3, and they are a game and a half up on Houston. So Houston, we have a problem because the Jazz right there, and the Jazz ain't. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I don't know where if I'm the Jazz, man, I would rather play the Nuggets. So I'm gonna sit my ass right where I'm at. I
You
ain't
know,
getting up. I ain't going down. I'm staying right where I'm at.
you know what, Jern? There's good problems and there's bad problems.
Mm-hmm.
I got a good problem that just joined us, man. MJ,
That's a
talk to
terrible
these
problem.
folks, man. Talk to these folks about Dame, because I swear to God, we talked about this yesterday.
Man. Oh, man. Look, all right, first and foremost, man, shout out to my wife's clothing line, Imperfect. It's unisexual. That's the shameless plug right there. Also, shout out to SCCEN. We getting it in, we getting it cracking. So, this is basically what I was doing. I called him Trav yesterday, or Trav called me and I called him back. And I was literally looking up and studying Luka Doncic, James Harden, and Dame Lillard, because they literally break every rule that I have made in regards to guard and defensive guys or defensive principles that I learned from the NBA. So if y'all have ever seen the video that I put up in Ball U Academy, I could definitely share it if need be. But it's pretty much a video talking about angles, because once you get to a certain level of the league, everybody can go left, everybody can go right, everybody can shoot it. So what you want to do is you want to give up the 5 to 9 foot shot contested, because most people are used to going into their layup or their dunk package once they get in that area. So what happens is with Dame and Luka and Harden, but we're going to just focus on Dame right now. What happens is when you try to play that angle, it's too late. It's almost like trying to tackle Randy Moss. When you're trying to go at an angle, he's too fast. He's going to burn you and it's a wrap. So what I was thinking about doing is I'm like, how the hell do you guard this dude? Because he can shoot from 30 feet contested. With the pick and roll and the dribble handoff work, it's literally nothing you can do if you're a big man to be able to take the angles away. So I came up with kind of a pyramid scheme, not the type that y'all be falling for, putting y'all money up and not getting no money back. Not that. But I came up with a pyramid scheme to which maybe if you can be able to flatten out guys like that and just play them at an angle towards the corner to keep them from turning the corner, maybe that can help. But at this point, it's like the rules, there is no rule to guard him. Like usually you have rules to be able to lock up people. They are out of the matrix. They're looking at zeros and ones in the green right now. They're stopping bullets. They're doing all of that. So there is no way to check these dudes. So with that, you have to think outside the box and figure out how you can stay in front of them and take different angles to be able to mix it up and just give them different looks, different coverages. That's all you can do. How y'all doing, by the way?
I'm doing good. I mean, I said to y'all before the bubble started, I said Golden State's not walking through that door. And that's the last team that we seen put Portland out. And that's because they had a point guard that made Dame play defense for 30 feet. And that's what made him start playing offense from 30 feet. So I mean, it's a big rich town. It's a big rich town.
Well, also too with that germ is what people ain't failing to realize either is Portland not only has a point guard who can do those things, but now you have the perfect team around him. You can't just focus on Dame because now CJ McCullough can go crazy. You can't just focus on CJ McCullough because, hey, look, you can't even just focus on him.
I think MJ is gonna
He gonna be back.
a little technical difficulty, but he should be coming back.
He was getting ready to say you can't focus on CJ because you got a dude over there who scored better than everybody else on the damn floor named Carmelo who can just catch and shoot threes from the damn wing in the corner now.
Hey man, put some respect on that man's name.
Man, Mellow Man. Shouts out, hey man, R.I.P. Stuart Scott, Mellow Man. I don't care what nobody say. Portland is nasty. I don't want to listen. I don't want to play them folks. He come here.
You don't want to play her. You don't want to play them.
So I was finishing it for you, but I'm gonna let you finish it in your way.
Sorry about that. No, because I got a call while I was on.
So
you have CJ McCollum, who, if you try to put a box in one or focus in on Dame, CJ McCollum has no problem giving you 40. You have Nurkic, who is now healthy. That's the scariest part to me because he really Jokic light. Nurkic is Jokic light on the low. All the stuff Jokic do, Nurkic can do, but don't have to because he has the guard play to be able to carry the load. Then you have an X factor in Carmelo Anthony, in which is like right now he's the fourth option on that chain. I don't care how old he is or how washed people say that he is. He gonna win this one-on-one matchup. So now it's like, even if you wanted to focus on number 0, you can't because he has enough firepower to still get up 110 points, even if he has an off night. What people failed to realize last year when they beat Denver in 7, it wasn't Dame time. McCollum was the one killing.
Yeah, 37.
And then off the bench, you got Hassan Whiteside, who is pretty much catching everything around the rim. And because Terry Stotts, who he don't get enough credit as a coach to me. Terry Stotts has those boys in the perfect system as far as defense goes to be able to give up the shot they want to give up, despite being an undersized backcourt, despite being not as athletic and the front court end as far as being laterally challenged. They're still able to play zones, play spots, and they're not Toronto or on defense or anything like that, but they do enough to be able to allow their offense to do what they do best. So it's not going to be easy for the Lakers. It's not going to be easy.
I think the Lakers got to guard somebody.
I don't think it's going to be easy.
LeBron got to guard.
Well,
somebody.
if you look at how Dame did them in the regular season, I mean, it's very telling. I know everybody. It's funny because it's such a double standard. When it's your team, people say it's just regular season. When it's not their team, everybody like, oh, it may mean something. It's like such a double standard.
Mm-hmm.
So I just say this when it comes to basketball. Certain things carry over. And once you start to learn the things that levels don't affect, then it's easier for you to see, okay, that might be a problem later. Or you could just be like, okay, that was just a one-off, two-off. Like the things that T.J. Warren is doing now in the bubble, he's always been able to do that. He was doing that since North Carolina State. The problem is he never had the platform to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but he was always a 3-level scorer. He was always 6'8". He was always able to stick the jump shot. I mean, him getting the three-pointer is what really opened up his game once he hit the three-pointer consistently. Now that's turned into everything. And long and behold, he had his shot because Victor Oladipo was injured for a majority of the season. They needed to get points somewhere. Well, but going back to Portland, yeah, that carries over. Like the stuff that Dame was doing in the regular season, he's going to do it in the playoffs. Like, unless you just completely all-out double team them and play 4-on-3, which you could. Do I recommend it? Probably not. No, I don't recommend that.
4-on-3 means that somebody else gonna get nasty. and it's gonna be it may be 00. It could be CJ.
I mean,
Hey,
we didn't
man,
even mention Zach. We didn't even mention Zach Collins, who can hit the corner three.
he can hit the corner three.
Yeah.
Hey, and he may be the perfect matchup for the Anthony Davis matchup when they go small. Anthony Davis not going to beat him up the floor consistently because rim running is where Anthony Davis can use that matchup against Nurkic. Rim running. If we get into rim running and they got to run, I'm gonna give that advantage to AD. Collins is young enough and quick enough for him to keep up there. I ain't saying he's gonna stop him because Anthony Davis is Anthony Davis. It is what it is. But when it comes to rim running, that may be a better matchup. And he has the size to contest. He can help on the interior when it comes to defending the paint. I mean, Portland they are a team that is very, very dangerous. And if Gary Trent Jr. gonna stick 4 threes a game, you really in trouble.
But
you know, I don't know if you guys talking. Go ahead.
as far as we're talking Lakers and Trailblazers, we still got Thursday to go. So
Yeah.
it can be changed at
Might be
any
smart.
moment. But with that Laker and Portland matchup, AD is good enough to step out on that high screen and roll like they dissected Dallas with tonight. But JaVale McGee and
Dwight
Big
Howard.
Sad, they better get right. They better get right on that. Because if they slack off like Unicorn did tonight, you can see 61. But how would y'all feel if y'all seen Phoenix at that thing? Devin Booker?
I don't
Dude.
see it.
I'm sorry. Y'all preaching the game right now, and I'm way behind. My Wi-Fi went out because of the storm, y'all. We got hit by a tornado yesterday. My fence got blew up. They blew my tent away. It's all bad right now.
You all right.
All bad.
We got you.
I don't got no tent right now. I'm gonna be out, but I'm just saying, I like that tent. I really did like the tent, and it's
The
a
tent.
patch in my grass showing the tent missing. It's just a brown patch where the tent used to be. It's like a cartoon and shit. It's crazy. Anywho, so what I like about the bubble is, and I actually made this quote in 94 feet. I'm gonna bring it to YouTube. Right now, refs don't have any pressure to have to deal with 30,000 people yelling at them and putting pressure on them when they miss a call.
Mm-hmm.
That matters. That matters a lot. Now there is no bias as a ref because you're afraid that you ain't gonna get home safe because you got a rauncous crowd that's gonna come at you and put the pressure on you to be able to make the calls go in their favor. That's really what home court advantage is about. That's why home court advantage matters, because it's a human game being officiated by human people. Are you really gonna be the person that's gonna foul out LeBron James in his house? No. Would you foul him out in the bubble? Maybe. Those calls.
That's a good point.
Yeah, those calls that you was giving to Dame Lillard and James Harden in the regular season, you probably could still hear those calls to him in the playoffs now, because you don't got 30 to 35,000 people yelling at you saying he flopping or you blowing the game, ref, and all of that, to the point where you are going to allow certain things to go. Now you kind of just call it how it is. I mean, at worst, what you're going to do, what? You're going to see some virtual faces mug you? Okay. That's way different than somebody yelling expletives and pretty much threatening your family while you're trying to ref a basketball game in live real time. So I just look at those things and I think, I don't care who you put there. It's like all of those people in the Western Conference that's within that 6 to 8 spot, they playing with house's money. They don't care. And all of them are fresh. All of them rested. What do they have to lose?
Yeah.
Man, I'm still salty that I didn't watch this Gianna's head, but
I didn't see it either, man.
oh man, I just seen it. Yeah, he using that noggin for something because the show ain't passing. So with the point of emphasis that we need to be focused on today and this evening, the 4 or 5 matchups, as Big Shot has called them, are sign me ups. As long as everybody takes care of business, We got the Heat and the Pacers, which the Heat and the Pacers are going to end up playing each other in the season finale. And ironically, they played a 4-5 on the opposite side. The Heat are going to be playing the Rockets, and then the Pacers are playing the Thunder, I believe. Well, it could be the other way around. Let me make
Yes,
sure.
the 4 and 5s of each side are playing against each other.
Yeah, Rockets,
Thursday.
Pacers, Rockets, Pacers. We got Thunder, Heat tomorrow. So
Wednesday,
that's gonna be
Wednesday,
interesting.
tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow and Thursday.
So man, look, I'm so excited for these games, man. I ain't even gonna lie.
I got a
So
question.
basically, the
I
only
have a
people that's
question.
really locked in spots are 1 and 2 on both
1 and
sides.
2.
1, 2, 1, 2, 8 was 1, 2, and 8 in the East, and then
1 and 2.
7. 7 is
1,
locked
2,
in too.
1, 2, and is that 7 for the West?
3
Yeah, I
locked
think
in
Dallas
too.
is pretty much gonna be 7 no matter what happens.
Yeah, 7 is locked in the West. 3 is locked in the West too. Because
Okay.
I don't think the Clippers. Lost the season series to Denver. I think they 2-1 in the season series.
MJ, what is that question you wanted to ask?
So if the Rockets don't get out the first round, what are we gonna say about that?
I would say if the Rockets don't get out the first round, well, I think if the Rockets don't get out the first round, that probably definitely has to end D'Antoni. That probably ends that at that point.
Is
I
Jay
think you still got to come back with Russell and James another year, but you're gonna have to find real size.
it ain't no
You
strip clubs open, James Harden.
Yeah, you're gonna have to find some real size because they're so tiny, man. Like they're a bunch of tough dudes. They run, they're athletic. Them cats is just too short.
It's
And
not good. It's
and
nothing. It's nothing
not
good.
When
bite
guys,
them. It may not bite them against Oklahoma City if they end up with Oklahoma City in the first round. I don't think the size is a problem then. But let's assume they end up with the Lakers in the second round. I think the Lakers bloody them to death. I think they just call post up with LeBron, post up with Anthony Davis. We just throw it up on the glass. Dwight Howard, JaVale go get it. I think if they end up with the Lakers in round 2, I think the size problem. That's the one matchup in the West where the size is just it's too much to overcome. Is when they
It's
play
like
the
that for Portland too, though.
hey, you
I
know
feel like
what?
it's like that for Portland too.
Oh, I don't know, John, about that one.
Portland got size. Portland got size. But as far as Houston go, I think we're gonna see the first 4-1 zone ever. PJ Tucker is just gonna guard everything in the paint, and everybody else gonna guard the perimeter. It's gonna be a 4-1 zone.
I think Portland defensively,
Have
they
we
got
ever
that big.
seen that before? I was just joking. Have we ever
Maybe with
That's
Ben
gonna be
Wallace.
tough.
Maybe
That
with
would
the
be
Detroit
tough.
4-1 zone
Pistons.
before?
Maybe the Detroit Pistons.
I love to see it. I want to see a 4-1 zone.
A 4-1 zone. Everybody
I'm just.
guarding PJ in the middle.
I'm gonna be honest
Yeah,
with
with
you.
PJ Tucker in the middle. Everybody else guards perimeter.
I don't think Houston can beat a couple of these teams. I think the Clippers are one of those teams that if they had to play the Clippers let's just say for some reason they end up making it to the conference fight. I think that they have too many things that they have to overcome. You got the best perimeter defensive team. You got the two biggest teams in the Western Conference, technically with the Blazers and the Lakers, with the best size, with Dwight Howard, Anthony Davis, and JaVale McGee. And then on the other side, you got Whiteside, the glass cleaner. You got Nurkic, and then you got Zach Collins. So I just think that's a lot. I mean, what you gonna do? Ask PJ Tucker to keep him out the lane all game? Then
Hey
the guards
man,
crash
they
because we
do.
know half the time. Then the guards crash. That's a
Check this
problem.
out. Check this out. I see a comment. It says Houston need an athletic big like what Blake Griffin used to be. If they could,
Used to
if they
be.
could have that with Aaron Gordon, they'll be fine. Did Houston trade a athletic big not too long ago to go small?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had Clint Capella.
traded him
Now,
to
I think
Treyway.
this is what happened. And this is basically what Houston did. Houston tripled down on D'Antoni's system, and they did it this way. They pretty much was like, as long as there's a guy in the paint on offense, Russell is going to shoot threes. So the only way we're going to get this dude to not shoot threes is to have the paint open. So we are going to just have all 6'7" dudes on the perimeter, so Russ won't shoot no more threes. As y'all laughing, how many?
It makes so much sense.
How many
But,
3D shots?
but you know why we laugh. You know why we laugh.
Yo, you almost put me
know
in
why we
tears.
laugh. It makes sense, and I totally understand it. But the reason
Russ
why
is the
we
center. Y'all
laughing,
do know that. Our offense, Russ is the center.
Russ gets to that rack. Russ is a post up guy.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, me personally, I'm telling you, man, I could not be a GM on the Houston Rockets team. There will be a contract. It will be an incentive on that man shooting threes. If he shoots it, it's 5,000. If he hits it, it's 6,000. If he misses it, it's 10,000. Gone. He has no business shooting threes. None.
Man, come on, man. Y'all killing me. Y'all killing me tonight.
None.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. With you saying that, Russ is obviously the thermometer for the Houston Rockets when it comes to offense and defense. When he's trapping, when he's getting steals, when he's all in the lane and all those different things, it does add a different dimension to that team. But the thing about it is, the lack of the jump shooting of him sometimes will be a problem in the playoffs. Because I'm basically gonna give him the Rajon Rondo treatment. I'm gonna stand at the free throw line if he at the top of the key. I'm gonna stand at the wing if he there, and I'm gonna say, if you're gonna knock down 6 threes tonight, my hat's off to you, because you ain't getting in this paint. I'm not doing it.
Hey,
we got a new
man.
guest, so I'm gonna let him get in. I'm gonna let him go and get in. That man
Talk to him
probably got something to
worldwide.
say.
Talk to him worldwide. Talk to him about your boy Dame. Talk to him about it, man.
Cracking.
Yes, we in here. We here.
The name of the thread is game $61.
Oh, he liked that.
I mean, I named it. Game $61.
He liked that. I remember watching him. He was a freshman in college. Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
we
you
got
good.
All right, good. He's a freshman in college at Weber State. I was still living in Pocatello, Idaho. I had just I was coaching it was my first year coaching high school basketball. I went to the game because I'm still living in Pocatello. Went to the game. You know, my boys are still there. I'm in town. I'm working, but like my guys some of the guys that came in with, you know, they hooping. They junior, senior, and I see number one. You know what I'm saying? He was number one at the time, and you know, I'm looking. I'm like, man, the business. He had like 22. In the words of Ron C, the business. He was giving them the business. And so you know how they had like the little media guys or whatever. So this whole time in my head, I'm like, man, like I wonder what JUCO he from. Cause it's the Big Sky. It's a predominantly JUCO league. And then I'm thinking like, oh, he from like, I wonder where he from. I'm thinking he like from the East Coast, like he a Philly cat, hell, maybe even Chicago. Just because the way he played, it was all chest, bung, bung, irk and jerk. Man, I get the media guide after the game. Damian Lillard, Oakland, California. And I forget the high school he went to, freshman. And I was just sitting there like, and so Idaho State lost the game. And so I go over my guy's crib, you know, they got an apartment or whatever. And I just, you know, me being me, y'all know me by now, I'd be like, yo, that freshman was killing y'all. Like he was killing y'all. Like I'm talking crazy. Like I'm talking crazy because I'm like, and then you know, when I was in school, do y'all remember Rodney Stuckey?
Mm-hmm.
So Rodney Stuckey was in the Big Sky. We played them. You know what I'm saying? So I got to see Rodney up close and personal, you know, like Rodney was like that. And I remember sitting on the couch and I was like, and because you know, we all seen Rodney, we all played against Rodney. And I said, he better than Rodney. And they was like, you think? I'm like, he's better than Rodney right now. And Rodney was a problem. Like Dame is different. Now I didn't know he was gonna be like this, but I knew that he was gonna touch that league. And like this dude is unbelievable. He is unbelievable. And I'm gonna throw a quick plug in. He gonna help like certain players, high school players, just decide that I'm gonna go wherever. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go wherever. You know, I don't need to necessarily go to like a bigger school. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, like a lot of these guys can be like, well, Dame made it. You know, I think everybody's loving him right now because he's a regular dude. Like he does it the regular way. Like he works, you know, and like all four of us, mine was on here earlier, but we all got to get up every day and go to work. And Dame has that mindset that he's going to get up every day and go to work. And I think I don't even know what to say. I just hopped on because I just looked in the group message, you know, and seen the link. But I just think like everybody loved Dame the same reason why they love Steph. Like we could actually reach out and we could touch him and we can relate to him because nothing was ever. We're not overly talented. We feel like they the 99%. You know, I think because like Dame's a regular dude from Oakland. You know, now Steph, you know, he had the NBA dad, but like if you look at him, Steph looked like the dude that's trying to, you know, you see him out in the street, he look like a regular dude. You know, he might sell phones at Verizon or something. You know,
And another thing, everything about Steph.
He just like we can relate to him. Like Dame
Absolutely.
Dame is that dude we went to high school with that never was on the team, but he would kill everybody.
Right.
You know, that's what Dame remind me of. Dame remind me of the dude is like, hey, he nice. Yeah, coach just don't rock with him.
Dame is at that level, like what Curry was. Well, not Curry was. Curry still is. But they so hard to guard. I mean, obviously he's a great shooter, but when you have to honor every dribble he takes,
That
like
ain't good.
literally every dribble he takes could be a shot. It doesn't matter if he's going left off the pick and roll. It don't matter if he's in an ISO situation. If he puts that ball down, whatever time he puts it down, then when that ball comes back up, it could be a shot. And that's impossible to guard when you just don't know unless you scout this for a living. So you could tell, like, hey, if this dude take 2 dribbles to his left, this is gonna happen. If he take 2 dribbles to his right, this is gonna happen. But dang, you don't know what dribble is gonna be. You don't know if he gonna go all the way to the cups this time. You don't know if he gonna pull up with his floater. You like, he doing everything. He's scoring off every possible move you can score off of.
And you know the crazy thing about it is, you know how people joke, you gotta guard me. You gotta guard me when I walk through the door. You gotta guard me when I come across. You better pick me up across half court, like how people talk like that. But like you really gotta do that with him.
With them too, you got to.
Yeah, yep, and Steph too, and Steph especially. Like that's how you got to guard them, and like they've taken this point guard position to
Another level.
Yeah, because you know what's gonna happen though. It's that kid. He's sitting at home right now. He ain't doing nothing. He about to go outside, and he about to start practicing 38 footers. That's what's getting ready to happen. You're about to see a bunch of kids that's gonna go to the gym and shoot these shots. And I'm not saying nothing's wrong with that. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but that's what you're gonna see because now that like Steph was doing it, he was doing it just like, all right, whatever. Dame is really like, nah, I'm really gonna make these shots. I'm really going to practice these shots. And so this is what you're about to see. Now the game is about to go to a whole nother height.
It's not much you can do. Either like when you Big Shot, when you were saying like you can't anticipate what he's gonna do, what his next move, what one every dribble leads to another thing he can do. Let's not forget the fact that if you give Dame the mid range, he will take it.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the most underrated part of this whole thing because everybody just think that he hitting threes all game. No, this man he going to the rim. He hitting mid range jumpers. He hitting floaters in the lane. It doesn't matter. He takes what the defense gives you. That's what we talk about when making the right reads and doing all those things. Him and Steph don't kill you in the assist department. They just make the right reads and they make the right plays. Down the stretch, Whiteside in the game. He get the double team when Maxey step up. Okay, that's a dump off. That's on top of your head. Don't do that again. We got Whiteside over on top of your head. Don't do it again. It's bad. It's tragic. It's this dude right now. I'm starting to think that Curry transfers some of his powers to Dame from whooping his ass so bad the last couple years. From touching the same ball, I'm starting to think because you know what happens is Steph shoot it and go through the rim, and then somebody give it to them, and then Dame end up with the ball dribbling. I'm starting to think he transferred them powers from whooping his ass them last couple years.
Like Space Jam?
Space Jam.
Hey man,
but that's dope.
He just a special dude that just break the rules of basketball, but he breaks it in a way where you have to honor and respect his game everywhere he goes on the court.
And he's an elite finisher at the basket. He's very elite. And like that's what I like about Steph is because Steph is a very elite finisher at the basket too. Now he won't finish over you like Dame, but he has an array of his layup package is nice.
Yes. He got a lot of finesse on that backboard and the spin.
Yeah, Dame, some of them finishes, the opposite side of rim finish, use the rim as another defender.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's that Stockton layup.
Yeah.
And then they turned it into then they start calling it the Parker layup. Shout out to Trav. And now they call it but then they went from that to the Kyrie.
Right.
That's like it, and I'm pretty sure because when I learned it, it was Stockton. I learned it was Stockton. That's I learned it was Stockton. Then it went to the Parker, now it's to the Kyrie. So it's just funny how these things is like
it just evolves.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it just continues to evolve, man.
Yeah. That's the whole point of the game, man. It's breaking the rules without breaking the rules. And that's what this whole game is all about. I was talking to Germ earlier, and I was just telling him, like, it's kind of like football at times. Like, you got to know this game evolves when you know how to break the rules legally. Sounds crazy, but you break the rules legally.
That's in life.
With dudes like what Dame is doing, like you making guys play defense 40 feet out from the bucket.
Right.
Where it was when we were playing, you ain't guard nobody 40 feet from the bucket, really.
And if you take that shot, you sit on the bench next to your coach.
Yeah. Hey, 30, you ain't picking nobody up. You have to pick him up you have to hard hedge or whatever pick and roll 40 feet from the basket. Because if you don't, if you go under the screen at 30, it could be a shot.
So, and we are probably from that same school of up the line, over the line.
Right.
Defense. Mm-hmm. Up the line, over the line, we're gonna deny. If they catch it at 25 feet, we just like, oh, we backing off, we guarding the 3-point line.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, you gotta go up, and then it's the league. And then it's the league. Like, it's the league. So you're not gonna really try to get up into somebody and say handshake. Or like dudes are phenomenal ball handlers now. So dudes are phenomenal ball handlers. So overplay them if you want to, you're gonna get embarrassed.
Man, what?
Man, that Utah Denver was that Denver game Saturday when Denver ran that play for Jokic to end the game to get the equalizer. You talking about throwing it to a 7-footer, 25 feet from the goal on the baseline. He got that ball and took 2 dribbles and was at the basket in 2 seconds. Like it was nothing. I'm like, man, this game is about crazy as hell.
Yeah, he's a rule breaker.
5 feet from the goal with 2 seconds. Go.
You remember the alley-oop that Dwight Howard caught years ago? That seemed like it was like 10 feet above the damn rim when he caught that alley-oop.
Oh yeah, the inbounds play. The inbounds play.
In Orlando, that dude was like, I was looking like, what is this? Ain't nobody up there. Who's up there? Who live up there? Like, what is that? Man, no, man, there's certain just things you just don't like, man. I don't like stuff like that, man. I don't like that, man. That ain't cool.
Certified rule breakers, man.
You know what?
Rule breakers.
You know what? I wouldn't say like breaking any rules. I would literally say like they changing the game.
The game is changing.
They changing the game. So it's like I'm sitting here looking like I'm thinking like, because all of my guys, they want, they looking D1 NBA. That's what and I'm sitting here like, when they get back to campus,
yo,
you just really gonna be trying stuff.
Hey, we got a question, y'all.
And I got, do I sit, and then for me, I'm sitting here, do I say, like, man, get off, like, you don't get paid $30 million to do that. Or should I say, hey, if you really want to take that shot, you need to be shooting 300 of them every day. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna shoot from 30, you got to shoot it every day. You got to shoot it every day like that. This is what you got to do, because I don't want to feel like, I'm discouraging anything, but it's just at the same time, I'm like, man, like, you work on that shot. What Pat say?
Coach Les, that's like the regular Kermit versus evil Kermit meme. Regular Kermit, like, make the right play. Evil Kermit, put that shit up.
Jared, what's the question?
All right, so Anthony from our group actually asked. He said, "What do you think it would look like if 2 of those long-range shooters teamed up, like Steph, Dame, or Trey?" Basically, those are the 3 people that he referred to.
I got one better than Nick, because your boy Draymond said this shit, and I thought about it, and I said, if you get them 3 light-skinned brothers together, it's a freaking.
Oh man, don't do that.
If you get those 3 yellows together, that is the barge on the basketball court.
Ugly.
That's Gallimore. Hey, the barge.
That's Gallimore. We got and Steph Curry is Howard Hewitt.
Yo, actually, this is not what we signed up for. Don't nobody want to see that. Hey man, come on, man, you can't do that.
Why not?
Devin Booker coming off a screen with a 3-way go. He can go to the rim, he can pull up for the J, he can pass it to either wing, or you gonna have Draymond dive into the basket. What you gonna do with that?
Well, basically, you got Devin Booker and never see a double team ever again.
Yeah, he can show up with all the ladies.
I'm going to make Devin Booker pass the ball. I'm going to make him a playmaker.
Ooh. Hey, to answer Anthony's question, it'll look like how it looked 2 years ago before that Achilles injury and that ACL injury. Because that's pretty much what happened already.
KD, and folks cried about that.
Hey, grown man cried.
Real
life tears.
Hey, I hate to sound like this. I don't want to do this. But y'all know how I get, I got a chair around. They're gonna have to do that when LeBron leaves the league, because I don't think many grown men will cry then.
What?
because they're champ.
Oh, you
champ-
know what?
Because it's like he's gonna have to leave the league because then nobody would be upset. The only reason why it was the only reason why I was upsetting because Braun went and won in 16, and they came back, they won, and then Golden State was like,
worldwide. You know what I learned? You know what I learned over the last 3 years? I learned two things can't happen. You can't question the Bulls' greatness. You can't do anything like win 7 championships or win more than 72 games and win a title. And you cannot contribute to more LeBron James losses. Because when you do those two things, now you got that whole community tight. It's almost like, what I'm saying, R&B female singer coming out that's stepping on Beyonce's toes. Like these dudes got fan groups that just goes beyond logic.
Right. And it's crazy because you can't say Carrie Hilson look better than Beyonce, which she does. You can't say that. You can't say Carrie Hilson look better than Beyonce. Well, Beyonce got more money. We're not
and there you come the Beehive.
You know what I'm saying?
You got good. Beehive right now. Hey, forget I even mentioned Beyonce because I'd rather deal with the LeBron fanatics than Beehives. I don't want none of that. I want none of that.
Hey, black men don't play about Jesus, LeBron, Beyonce, and their hair.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this. It's only one other person that has a bigger fan base than the Beehive. And this Taylor Swift deal, that shit ridiculous.
See, you cross it over.
Those
you
folks
cross it over into a life I don't understand.
Yes,
I don't understand that life.
Yes.
So.
Yes. I know that for a fact. I was watching Entertainment Tonight, and somebody said something bad about Taylor Swift. All her fans swarm this dude. Oh God.
They get you out of there.
They get you out.
That's Kanye's fault though.
Hey, Kanye ain't been right since then.
Yeah.
That's Kanye's fault. If he would have never did what he did, they would never be so overprotective of her. I promise you.
Hey, they was cool when he said George Bush don't like black people. They got over. They understood that. All right. But when he hopped on that stage, he ain't been right.
That was it.
Man.
Think about that. I want y'all to go back to that day in history.
Hey,
Kanye hopped up there, and I want y'all to look at today.
Yeah, it's been over ever since.
We're not side note too. He was drinking and passing the head to Joe Jackson that night. So that was just a lot.
Oh my God.
No, he really was. I'm not making this up. He was passing the head to Joe Jackson. So
Speaking of Taylor Swift and Luka Doncic, it's it's a similar thing. Hey man, J Ham said this. I don't want to misquote him. But because he's not here, I like to quote people when they're here. J Ham said that's probably the best 21-year-old ever.
You know what? It is, and in 5 years another one gonna come.
Go ahead.
Hey, I said it is, but in 5 years another one gonna come. The game is really this real. Because when Amani Bates come in, he's gonna be the best 21-year-old ever. So it's gonna keep coming. The game gonna keep coming. It's real.
Hey, Ron, I do want to say you misquoted J Ham because he probably cussed when he said it.
Yeah, he definitely cussed. Yeah. He cussed somewhere in that statement. So that's a misquote.
Yo,
he said Maine in there somewhere too.
In Maine too. He said Maine in there somewhere. So,
I know what he said. I know exactly what he said.
That's what make it funnier.
Hey, you talk about regular Kermit and evil Kermit. That's right. That's right.
That's right at Jam. Yeah.
That's right.
Perfect. Perfect.
But you know what it is about Luka, and I think we got to be honest about it. Brothers have a hard time with Luka.
Yeah.
The brothers are having a hard time because number one, he doesn't have any melanin. He's not from America. And quite frankly, he came into this league and it's way too easy. He
been
getting 20. He walk into the gym knowing he gonna have 27, 8, and 8 in warm-ups. And the rest is just extra to whatever happens after that.
right.
And you know what's
right.
crazy? Shannon Sharp, and I didn't read the whole thing, but I seen the headline. I don't know if it's true, but he said Shannon Sharp said Luka not getting that much love because he not black. And I beg to differ because like every coach that I've talked to and people, outside of us that I talk basketball with, they talking about Luka.
Oh, people who know.
Yeah,
Like,
Can I say this though? Can I
Yeah.
just say this? I swear I'm not trying to be a basketball hotep. I swear to God. All right. I'm not a basketball hotep. I love hoop. That's just what it is. But can we look at Luka's usage rate, please?
yeah, he gets a lot of usage, but I would say
If you look at his usage rate, it's the exact same rate as James Harden's usage. The same dude that everybody hates for playing the exact same way Luka's playing.
I would say this though. The fact that his usage rate is that high at 21 tells you something.
No, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, as far as like special players go, you want them to have the ball as much in their hands as possible, even though you kind of know that's probably not going to win you a championship that way. I mean, The history says it's just not going to win the championship that way. I would love for somebody to come along and win that way so that we could be able to say, okay, this is a new wrinkle that we can say, this is how you can play basketball and it be successful, even though I think it would probably mess up part of the culture of the game. But looking at it, though, if you really look at it, Carlisle and Cuban probably had a nice sit down and was just like, listen, I know you are a predecessor of Chuck Davis. I know you love moving the ball. I know you love all of how playing the team game. I know all of that. Right now, we got a young dude that is probably going to get us billions of dollars in jersey buys, and all of that. This dude is about to be the face of the league. We need him to be as confident as possible. We will build a championship team around him eventually. Right now, let him get the ball and just get out of his way. You won't get fired. I will let you coach this team eventually, but right now, just let him cook because we want him as confident as possible when we build this team around him. Because I'm looking at it this way, like if you're pretty much got the ball in your hand 40% of the time and you know what you're doing and you don't walk away with at least 24, 7, and 6, you probably don't belong in the league.
That's true.
That's a different point that you just made.
That's true though, but it's still easy.
Oh no, he
got the ball. He getting the ball a lot, but like the 34th 19 is 16 he had the other night was easy.
It's simple.
That was an easy 34, 16, and 19.
And it helps.
He's not, the thing about him is he's not super athletic. Mm-hmm. The low-key thing about him is he's not a great deep ball shooter either. So this ain't like him hoisting a bunch of threes. Dude, just go where you want to go.
And I'm gonna tell you about that. I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned that because here is the reason why Luka is where he's at and Harden is where he's at. Luka does what Harden does 5 seconds earlier.
Oh,
can I say something?
Go ahead.
And you didn't sound too Dr. Umar-ish, so you good.
Good. Thank you.
Cash out.
Cheesecake Factory.
You could have gave me 20, but I'd take the 10.
Gifts. Anyway.
Yo.
When we start talking about Luka and the way he plays and that he's not super athletic and he doesn't shoot the deep ball well and his usage rate, there's one person that comes to mind. I think he was a little bit more athletic, though. A little bit more athletic. Just not a ton, but he's really fast. Jason Kidd.
Right.
I think of Jason Kidd in a lot of similarities in Luka Doncic. Because he rebounds the ball from that position really well.
Good question.
And he's able to, because he's going to go get it, because he's not getting a bunch of, he's 16 rebounds, he's getting 14 defensive ones. He's not crashing the offensive glass.
Right.
But he's getting the rebound, and he's gone. He's up to, and that's what J Kidd was, J Kidd, one of the all-time leaders in triple doubles, and he wasn't, and this thing about it, he wasn't trying to go get the triple double. He was hooping, because a lot of times Jason Kidd didn't play with a ton of talent.
Mm-hmm.
And when he did, Tony Braxton interfered with that. So what I'm saying is that I think Luka may be more on the Jason Kidd side than Larry Bird or anybody else they're trying to compare him to. Luka has to score that many points because that's the way the game is played now.
Yeah.
Jason Kidd was in the league. He didn't have to score that many points because the game was more so played in the half court. This game now is not really played in the half court. It's a, let's get it up the court. Let's 7 seconds or less type. Nobody's really, because just the, I'm not going to say that. I don't want to say decline, because I think the bigs are better than the bigs back in the day, just because they are bigger, faster, stronger, more athletic. I would say there's not much of a low post game now. So it's more of an open style. So Luka is allowed to score a lot more. But that's in my opinion. That's just me. That's what I see. And I don't like the whole, he white, so he Larry Bird.
Right.
Well, he white, he Mark Price. Like, no.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
The fundamentals.
I think
it's about the fundamentals.
I think his skill set is very simple, in my opinion. Now, I could be wrong. Y'all be like, Lester, you drunk as hell. What you really got in that bottle? Like, I just think.
I'm drunk.
I say.
Me.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I just think the fundamentals are there. It's not no wasted motions. Just like when MJ said 5 seconds earlier, you can see that, because we're not cooking the same way that James Harden cooking. James Harden go between the legs 5 times consecutively before he even make a move. Luka going 1 time, and then we coming back with that ball, and we're gonna go this way, and we're gonna make a pass, we're gonna lay the ball up, or we're gonna step back out and we're gonna do this again. But if you look at that, that's what makes him who he is, and that's what makes him such a good player. I was talking to MJ and Ham like last year. It was probably like last year. Yeah. I said Luka got a chance to be the next best big forward we have in the league when it comes down to it, because his skill set is so polished at a young age. And I said skill set, not anything other than the fundamentals. And MJ said, I can see that. And then Ham said, hey, man, he might be the best 21-year-old player we ever seen, man. And I'm like, I can't argue, because at 21, who was this polished and who had all of these things in his arsenal? I mean, but Jason Tatum got him, but he don't.
Magic Johnson. That's the only.
That's a good one.
I mean, the beautiful thing about this game is it's been so many individuals that has laid that foundation and has put their blueprint and implemented their style of play on the game, in which there is no next anything. What people can do, if you're really a savant to the game, you can take a little bit of this that's going to work in my game. You can take a little bit of that that's going to work in my game. And I think more players are doing that. So when you see a guy like Luka Doncic, you're seeing a mesh of a lot of things. You're seeing a lot of everything. Like, I compared him to James Harden because I think they play the same. If you really look at it, the only difference is, like I said, Luka just gets to the point quicker. But even though Luka's not really a shooter, that step back usually don't miss much. And
it's nothing but the bottom. That's a Tiger Woods. That's a Tiger Woods golf swing right there.
Right, it don't miss much. When he's coming around that pick and roll, it's literally pick your poison, because he's not giving that ball up unless he gets what he wants, just like Harden. And when you, like I said, when you just look at, how he does it, it's like him and Harden both lure you to sleep. It's like you're looking at something. You're taking away something like Wesley. When Wesley Matthews guarded him, and this ain't no knock on Wesley Matthews, so I think he's a great defender. He just ran against a better offensive player. It was one play in particular when he had Luka guarded. He guarded his first two moves, and Luka pulled out a third move that he had no idea was coming. He did it twice, actually. The one in the first half, one in the second half. I'm going to talk about the second half because what he did was he dribbled, pushed, pulled out. He went between his legs. He did the basic left to right crossover. And Wesley Matthews thought that was it. And then he hit him with another crossover into a step back. And I think that's what makes him so special is the fact that I don't think he knows what he's going to do. It's just really read and react. And when you have a player that's just reading and reacting the game, and he has the freedom to do it, that's the key word in this, because it's a lot of NBA players who got go like this. Not like Luka. Let me put that out there. Luka is a top 5 talent in the league. But it's a lot of players, if you just gave them the ball for 30, 35 minutes and say, do what you want to do, the numbers will be there, yeah. But his ability to just see 4 plays ahead, like he's literally playing chess where everybody else is playing checkers at 21. But that's what happens when you're playing overseas, 14 years old, against grown men who are trying to take your head off. So I think it's just a beautiful thing to watch him do what he does. And I'm praying. So I hope everybody listening to me when I say this. If this man don't win a championship in 3 years, please don't start chastising this boy's name.
Right.
Please. I'm tired of y'all doing this. We go through the same shit every year. Every superstar, we go through the same shit. If this dude don't win a championship by year 5, year 6, now I got to hear bullshit. How come we just can't let this dude be great and
Let him
figure
be
it out
great.
on his own?
Then
Just let him be who he is.
And then they go join up with people. They get vilified. They win, and then they go beat somebody, and then they find somebody else to pick on. He go join somebody. He get vilified. It's a circle. It's like
and the crazy part about that is you talk about him not winning championship 4 or 5 years. How many all-time great players can you think of off the top of your head won a championship in a rookie contract? I can only think of 2.
I know one.
Magic.
No, it's 3. Magic, Bird, and Tim Duncan.
I got a question. I want to say
right?
4.
Who?
I want to say 4.
Froby? Did Froby win in 2000?
No.
Wasn't 2000? No.
I think.
What was D-Wade? Was D-Wade in his rookie contract in 06?
He would have had to be. I thought the rookie contract was 4 or 5 years.
So I say 4. I say 4.
So even if you add Kobe and Duncan, that's 5 in how many years?
Oh, no. I'm just asking, but you know what I'm saying? Because I would have thought 2000 would have been his last year. And then I was getting to D-Wade because I know D-Wade was 2003.
Right. So even if we count them, we going Magic, Bird, Kobe, Wade, and Tim Duncan.
And these are generational talent.
That's generational talent.
You can literally say and you can argue. Now we know it's an argument, but you can literally say, "Oh, they the best. They the best at their position." They're all top 3 in their position ever.
And also,
out of the history of the NBA.
Let's look at these 5 as well. Let's look at these teammates they had. If you want to throw Kobe out there, he had a prime Shaq.
Right.
Wade, he had a motivated Shaq.
Yes.
Magic had Kareem. Even though Kareem got injured in the finals, they still had to get to the finals. Kareem was there to get to the finals. Tim Duncan had David Robinson. Who's the other one we talking about?
Bird, Kevin McHale.
Bird had Cornbread Maxwell, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish.
Right. And them Celtics teams were so good back in the day. They damn near had 5 people who could get off the bus and score 20 points.
And was Dennis there too? Dennis Johnson?
Dennis didn't get there yet because the Boston Strangler was whooping their ass so good that they had to go get there.
They had to go and get Seattle.
Hey, so the Celtics are the ones that originated clicking up and getting people.
Yeah, correct.
Absolutely. You don't win 8 out of 10 years. Les, you don't win 8 out of 10 years, and I had the best team in basketball.
That's what I'm saying. So like, this is so the Lakers was like, "Ooh, this is what we got."
Exactly. And that's ironically, who are the two teams that have won the most championships in basketball history?
Exactly.
Lakers and the Celtics.
Successfully,
Them
Why the Bulls get so much love because they didn't go out and go click up. They just drafted well.
McCraven, nice one. I see that. I see you.
Talk to him.
Mo,
Check this out. This man said Bird won two of them. Won two who could have been included in this talk that we're talking about right now, and Akeem Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson. He stopped them.
Yeah.
Again, generational ball players, man.
If Houston's guards wouldn't have all been on drugs, it might have been a different thing.
Hey, cocaine is a hell of a drug, and that was the era.
Cocaine circus.
Yeah. You talk about Mitchell Wiggins and Alvin Levitt, Robert Reed, all them.
MJ, the real
What up?
Muhammad Yosef said that you in your bag tonight, and he said that you need to keep going.
Salute. Nah, man, you know
Oh, yeah.
that's humbling. That's humbling coming from the NFL guru, man. But I had to come in and chop it up with y'all. Y'all gotta understand, man. Like I live for this. When y'all are on a Zoom and I can't make it, I be pissed off. It motivates me to want to quit my job and get enough money so I don't have to worry about having to go to a job. So I can do stuff like this at any moment of the week. That's why we build the SCEN to begin with. And I'm sorry if you still stutter with the SCEN.
I got
Hey man, just call it the scene.
I got less than Byron here. So now I'm gonna ask my question from earlier, the earlier zone.
All ears.
And just purely on X's and O's. I told Jerm and Ham this earlier. Milwaukee, I ain't convinced.
Okay.
Me neither.
It's a lot of wins the last couple years. I respect it. I ain't convinced. Now, am I wrong?
No,
I gotta get my charger. I'll be right back.
I'll go ahead and start first then. So here's the beautiful thing about this season and what's going on in the Eastern Conference. I'm not going to touch on the Western Conference. The Western Conference is going to be what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing about this Eastern Conference is every team between 1 through 8 has something they do really well and something that they don't do well at all. With Milwaukee, after Giannis, can I really trust Chris Middleton to give me 5 games out of 7? Because
I
when we're in the playoffs,
I think it was at lunchtime today.
Hey,
no, that's why I'm just pointing out the obvious. I swear I did not even read this. I didn't even see y'all live. I'm just speaking.
Big Shot, he about to cover what me and you talked about earlier. Watch.
I didn't see it, I promise you. Right-handed guy. So my question is, it's like, okay, so if you're in the playoffs, obviously you got your superstar in Giannis. Giannis is going to do what he's going to do. In order to make that next step, your second guy has to show up at least 5 out of 7 games. Mm-hmm. You have to know that your second guy is going to be able to hold his own. Now, this is the part that everybody misses. You will think that's enough, right? That's not enough. Now you have to have a third guy who's going to win his matchup, his one-on-one matchup. Your third guy has to win the one-on-one matchup at least 3 out of 7 games. After that, your shooters got to make shots, and then we talking what we is. Here's the problem with Milwaukee. Their third guy is extremely inconsistent in Brook Lopez. He's the one that's supposed to win his one-on-one matchup. It's games he might have 30. It's games he might have 7. You can't count on that. With Chris Middleton is a very skilled guy, but he does not have an attribute that's going to just take what needs to be taken when it needs to be taken. Like if we go back to that Toronto team last year, Pascal Siakam, as limited as he was offensively last year, he was long and athletic as fuck. Pause. So when Draymond Green was guarding Pascal Siakam, it wasn't about Draymond Green being one of the best defenders that we've seen in this generation. It was about Pascal Siakam just being longer, taller, and more on balance to just shoot right over him. Just like how James Worthy used to do when he was with Magic. So it's like you look at Milwaukee and you're just like, wait a minute. This second and third option, I don't know about. And it's an honest question. The thing that really allows them to keep winning in the regular season is they have a coach in Budenholzer who took an Atlanta team with literally no one near the weapons that they got now to a 60-game streak. So he knows how to manage the regular season. Secondly, he has the blueprint offensively to be able to put guys in situations in which their reads can be easier. In the playoffs, you're not getting those easy reads. So for you to be able to say what you said about Milwaukee, I understand your concerns. Meanwhile, I'm looking at this Toronto team, and what you see is what you get with this defense. They ain't giving up shit. What you see is what you get. And do you trust Kyle Lowry and Van Fleet as a second and third option more than I trust Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez? I actually do.
I do.
They already got a ring. I trust them more. And Siakam, like I said, Siakam is the number one option by committee, but the way he plays, he doesn't demand the ball. He's going to get cuts. He's going to run the floor. He is only going to take the shot that he wants to take. If he gets stopped, he has no problem with passing the ball and cutting. And then you got other guys like Ibaka, Marc Gasol, Norman Powell, who at any given moment can just go crazy. So them going against Milwaukee, that's not an easy win. Then I'm not going to even talk about Boston. I'm going to leave that up to Les. Let's go ahead.
Talking about who I got coming out the East, or
no, he was just saying he doesn't.
Do you got confidence in Milwaukee?
I don't have confidence in Milwaukee.
Coming out of the East or winning it all?
I don't have good confidence in Milwaukee.
Coming out the East.
Man, that's tough because they have been the best team in the Eastern Conference the last 2 years.
Yep.
Giannis is Giannis, or however you say it. He is who he is. I think Budenholzer is very talented as a coach. He's very smart. I also know that he had pretty good teams in Atlanta, and he did a lot with them. I think Milwaukee, they don't come out if they have to see Boston.
And why, Les?
Talk
about Boston. That's why I left Boston for Les. I didn't even know this, but I knew it. I left Boston for Les for a reason.
And honestly, I got Boston coming out the East.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, because I got them coming out the East, especially now, because and it's crazy that I'm going to say this, but it's one guy that definitely that I think will win the matchup. Will win the matchup against a Toronto, a Milwaukee, and I mean Philly is look like they're done. Might be a first round exit. And hopefully he's healthy is Kemba Walker.
Yeah.
Kemba's tough. And I know we had a great conversation about Kyle Lowry a week ago.
Sure did.
And I like Kyle. I think Kyle is a dog. Van Vliet, we know he a dog. But I just think a healthy Kemba Walker is going to be the difference in Boston getting over the hump. And that's not saying that he's better than Kyrie, because Kyrie definitely, as a talent, is a better talent. But I think the way Kemba plays, and he can play with those guys. Kemba is a point guard that can play off the ball. So he can be ready to catch and shoot, ready to drive, ready to facilitate. He's a guard. He's a guard's guard. I think Kemba Walker is the difference because I don't trust Bledsoe enough in that matchup.
I told you, Big Shot. What did I say to you?
And then Giannis. Okay, Giannis is Giannis. But okay, Giannis, you gonna guard Jay Tatum that's about to jab you 37 times, get you to that elbow. Okay, no, we ain't gonna have that. oh, okay, you want to take a break? You know, Gordon Hayward, he kind of roam a little bit, try to knock down the open three. Okay, but then you got to deal with Jalen that's going to body you because he's got size to him too.
Called 3 of them.
Dealing with 3.
Called Giannis 3 times.
You said what?
He called Giannis 3 times.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting here and I'm like, you got Jalen, Jason, and Gordon. That's really like, they're all like Gordon Hayward was an all-star in the West.
And he
You know what I'm
can
saying?
score the basketball.
Like you got 3 dudes. You got 3 dudes coming at you. Now
But
you could be a big gun. You could be a shotgun, but you got a Desert Eagle. You got the, I mean,
hey, let's tag me in, let's please.
You got some air. You got it. You know what I'm saying?
Let me say this before you.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Go ahead,
different.
Trav.
It's like my what Lil Duke say off Creed 2. It's a balanced breakfast over there.
It's a balanced breakfast over. Yeah.
It's a balanced breakfast over in Boston. And
He said that in Creed 1, but I got you.
Nah, he said it in Creed 2 because it
It
was
was 2 against that Drago.
It was Drago.
He said it in, well, he must have said it in both because I remember in the first one. That's a balanced breakfast over there.
Hey,
He said it. I know who you talking about. He said it.
He said, I'll pull it
said
up. But it's a balanced breakfast in Boston right now.
Yeah.
And if
I'm gonna let
Kimber
Trav go, and then I gotta say this. Trav, please go before I say this.
Let me.
Kimber is healthy, and when I say healthy, I'm like Lux healthy.
Healthy. I got the shirt. I got it. Check this out. I like that Boston analogy. I really like it. But the thing with Boston to me, first thing, let me get on the Kimber because this is a Kimber setting. This bubble is a Kimber type setting. It looks just like New York. It looks just like the tournament. It looks just like it. So if Kimber does snap, I would not be surprised. But the thing about Boston, I bet not have Marcus Smart shoot more shots than the rest of them bastards.
Tag me in. Tag me in.
I bet not.
Tag
I
me
bet
in.
not.
Tag me
I bet
in.
not. Marcus Smart is a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's a good player. It's no way he have 11 shots and Gordon Hayward have 5 or 6 or Jaylen Brown have 7 or 8. I don't want to see that.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Marcus.
Hey,
Nobody come see you shoot, Mark.
Hey, Mark is like, hey, I took 2 of these charges. I took 2 charges last quarter. Let me get some of this. Let me get one of these catch and shoots real quick.
2
Yeah,
charges don't mean 5 attempts.
Hey,
doesn't mean-
Marcus say 2 charges equals 5 attempts.
Let me go and give y'all some stats real quick.
Cook, MJ, Cook.
Trav lobbed that shit up for me. He wasn't supposed to say that because I was gonna hit people with that. Because, like I said, this is about pros and cons. I've always just said pros and cons, pros and cons. All right, so prior to like the last 4 games, I will say, I had a nice conversation with my homie George that I took to 94 feet of life, and it made me pull up the stats because with Brad Stevens, you got to think where his background is. He an Indiana guy, came from Butler, made it to the national championship twice with pretty much role players. And, you know, he was that one band, one sound type of dude, which I agree with to an extent. In the NBA, it ain't a democracy. You got to have at least one person that's going to sit on that throne while everybody else eat from it. Even as democratic as that Golden State roster was, as far as how, you know, they shared the ball willingly, we all knew Curry was that dude. And then when Durant came, Durant was that dude. Nobody had to question that. The problem that I had with him up until the last 4 games, because I'm going to give this props now. What the problem that I had with him is, as of right now, Jason Tatum averaged 18.7 shots a game. Jaylen Brown averaged 15.6. Gordon Hayward averaged 13.4. And Marcus Smart averaged 11.4 shots a game. Now, I don't have a problem with him shooting, but here is the problem that I have. Out of everybody on the team, there is only 2 people that shoot worse than Marcus Smart on the roster. Those two people are Romeo Langford and Carson Edwards. Oh, and Tremont Rogers. I'm sorry, 3. Because I'm not going to get my words stumbled. Y'all came here for the SCEN. We're going to give y'all the rip. So now I'm backing up my shit with facts. So with that being said, if Romeo Langford, Carson Edwards, and Tremont Waters only shoot 2.4 shots a game, 3.3 shots a game, and 3.5 shots a game, why in the hell is this guy shooting 11.4 and he's only making 37.5% of it? Now, I said a long time ago in our group, behind the scenes, I'm gonna put our group, I'm gonna put this out there to our group. I said, if Boston doesn't have the guy to sit on the throne, they're not going to make it far. Ever since I said that the last 4 games, Jason Tatum sat on that throne. And guess what? Marcus Smart shot less shots. He hasn't shot double-digit shots since I made that statement. It's almost like I think they got a bug in our message. I swear it's a bug.
You know it's a bug. You know it's a
bug somewhere.
You know it is.
Marcus Smart ain't shot more than double-digit shots since I made that statement. And guess what happened? They've been smacking folks. They've been looking scary because it's just the law of numbers. If this dude is shooting 37% and it's taking 11 shots, yet you got 3 people who are shooting 45%, 48%, and even 50% that is already making their shots, why are you still taking those shots when they can be evenly distributed to those 3 guys who happen to be Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward?
Hey, man, it's this poet from Miami. His name is...
Yes, it's on Stevens, Tyrell. Go ahead.
The man, I know a great poet from Miami. His name is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He once said, and I believe he told Marcus Smart this, know your role. Know your role. And shut your mouth. That's all Marcus Smart got to do. Know your role.
No more neighborhoods. No more neighborhoods. We don't need no neighborhoods.
Your defense is good. What you put out on offense is okay also. But if you got, I swear to God, man, he better not shoot more shots than Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, Kimber, or Jason Tatum. I better not see it.
It's gonna happen.
They gonna lose.
He do it once a series. He do it once a series.
He thinking he playing Memphis. He think he playing the Memphis Tigers, man. That shit ain't gonna happen no more. You ain't at Oklahoma State no more, dog.
Here's the thing.
Hey,
here's the thing about Marcus Smart, real quick, and then I'm gonna let's go. And then I got something else I want to say about the Bucks. But Marcus needs to be a little bit more of an advocate of one of those guys, an extension of the ball handlers. He needs to be making plays for others. That's Oklahoma State Marcus Smart. Oklahoma State Marcus Smart was getting you 6-7 assists a game on the easy side and cleaning up on the boards. That's all you got to do. He do that. Hey, MJ said, I'm gonna give y'all something else. MJ said,
no.
Get it out. Get it out,
please.
Get it out, Lester. Get it out. I see.
Let me say it. Germ, I love where you was going, and this is what I was getting ready to say. Marcus Smart needs to be Patrick Beverly.
Bingo.
Marcus Smart needs to be Patrick Beverly. He, as the great Aaron A. Walker says, Pat Bev mechanics.
Hey, hey, somebody in the comments said that the same thing. Tony Allen, Patrick Beverly. Hey, everybody, look at that.
Who said that? Where's that at?
In the YouTube chat, in the YouTube live chat thing, it say right here.
Hey, just to add insult to injury, with him shooting these 11 shots a game, y'all do know Marcus Smart shoot 83% from the free throw line, right? So those shots he takes easily just go to the basket and draw a foul.
Bingo.
Because he only takes 2.5 free throws a game. So yeah, I'm bringing the tangible to it right now, just so y'all won't think we just pulling this from a tree. It's right here. It's on Basketball Reference if you want to look it up.
And I mean, but just what you just said right there, like I just don't understand some of the logic with him, because if you watch some of the games when he played behind the year that Boston ended up going to the conference finals and losing in 7 games to the Cavaliers, Marcus Smart had some games in there in between where he had like 13 points, 8 assists, in 20, 25 minutes off the bench, and Boston was blowing teams out. And that was all he was the second point guard. Matter of fact, Shane Larkin didn't even play. It was literally Terry Rozier, Scary Terry, and Marcus So Scary. They was terrorizing people.
Man, Rozier was hooping too, boy.
Hey,
God.
Rozier with that step back he hit it against Giannis and them, Giannis still got flashbacks. Hey, but just to say this real quick, and I want to hear what Les and what MJ think about this. And that's because I said this to Big Shot and Trav and Ham earlier at lunchtime.
Okay.
What do y'all think about the playmaking abilities of not only just Giannis, but also of Middleton? I think you got one C plus playmaker in Giannis, one D minus playmaker over here in Middleton, because Middleton takes a lot of jump shots, unnecessary jump shots sometimes, especially when he's not hitting jumpers. And I think to go along with that, I think Giannis, as we know, struggles in certain situations when it comes to making plays for others. What do y'all think about that? Do y'all think I'm being too picky? Am I calling it down the line? Am I being fair? I mean, what do you think?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I think that Dante DiVincenzo is their best playmaker on that team, behind Giannis. Until
Wow.
they figure that out, and actually, do it accordingly, they're gonna have problems.
So I'm not being unfair, MJ.
No, you're not being unfair. Chris Middleton is a bucket. Chris Middleton is Luol Deng 2.0.
Ouch.
Hey, man.
Yo.
Hey, Luol Deng was real.
I just said he was ouch.
Chill out,
What?
man.
What's the what? Am I wrong?
Ouch. Like that was a bad thing.
No,
It is
it ain't
a bad thing.
It's who he is. Like Luol Deng I seen Luol Deng be the second option on a Bulls team that made it so far, only to get closed out by LeBron for about 5, 6, 7 years. And I said it the whole time. Like, Luol Deng is a great player. He's just not a second option. Chris Middleton is a great player. He's just not a second option.
And that's the thing.
God. This dude
And that's the thing right there.
He on that trash again? Man.
It's okay.
Man.
Hey, real quick question. Who do you think could create a shot better? Kyle Kuzma or Chris Middleton? The fact that you have to think about it tells me exactly the reason why there's a problem. You have to think about
I'm not
that.
thinking. No, Kyle Kuzma.
That's even worse. What option is Kyle Kuzma on the Lakers?
3D?
Barely a third.
You know what I said? 3D.
Is he a third?
Barely.
3D?
Barely.
So to answer your question, if Giannis and Chris Middleton are dependent upon making plays, having to make plays for the Bucks, then Ron is totally unequivocally correct not having confidence in them. And
They remind me.
If White Dante is their best playmaker,
Yeah, man, you can't. If Tommy from Power is your guy, because I was saying
that's
lesson MJ said
Rex Chapman, illegitimate son.
I said the Bucks remind me of them Cavalier teams that LeBron had that were really, really good.
but they were missing something.
But you was missing something, and it's like it was LeBron or bust. I think it's gonna be Giannis or bust. I think Giannis gonna have to play so well to get them out of the East. I don't think you can win like that. I don't think you can win with saying Giannis, you got to give us 35, 15, and 6 every game this series, or we ain't got a chance.
I got something for y'all fellas, man. And I think we're going to close it out with this. We're going to go around the horn with it.
Okay.
With the Bucks, and as we predicted that they may not make it out the East, do you see Giannis staying in Milwaukee?
My answer is yes, because I think there's only about one place that he can access. Well, man, he can go anywhere. Let me say stop. There's only two places I can see him leaving, going to.
Go ahead, say it.
Golden State is number one.
Oh, grow big, go
Golden State is one. And number two, I think the dark horse in all of this is Toronto.
That's an interesting damn.
Masai is. You don't want to make it as basic as they both from Africa, but Toronto, multicultural city. So Giannis ain't really tripping about playing in Hollywood. So I don't think that's a factor. I think if he does leave, those are the only two. They're the two places I can see where he walks off to. Golden State or Toronto. I think I can see happening. If he was a league.
Go ahead, John.
He ain't staying. No, ain't no way he stay. I think Giannis has to be the second best playmaker on the team at best, maybe third. But I think ultimately he does need better guard play around him. I think the guard play is what we'll see. What we see will bring out better play in Giannis. So I do think that a team that has better guard play will be the team he would decide. I'm going to lean with what Ronnie said over here, and I'm going to say Golden State is a great fit because you can get rid of Wiggins. He can go sit on the couch somewhere because we about finished with that.
Worldwide.
What's up?
Talk to me, man. You see Giannis, if they don't complete the task this year, you see him staying in Milwaukee?
They need to get D Rose.
That's interesting.
They need to get D Rose.
Keep Bledsoe or get rid of Bledsoe?
They need to get D Rose.
Hey man,
that's it.
Can I be honest? I think we all sick of Eric Bledsoe shit. Is that fair?
Bledsoe just signed for that 71 million.
Hey, Les will not speak anything bad about Big Blue Nation, so don't put him in that situation.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get let say nothing bad about Kentucky, so don't even ask about it.
I'm gonna get him.
I gave y'all my list. D Rose, Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant. You might as well go ahead and add John Calipari and Blake Boot.
Hey, let me tell y'all about Les, and then MJ can answer the question for the viewers out there. We had a fantasy league 2 years ago. This dude,
12 players on the roster.
12 players on the roster strategically. His draft made sense basketball wise, and he managed to get all players from Kentucky somehow.
And type #BBN after every draft pick.
I didn't know what he was doing until about the 9th pick.
And we was cold.
We got to the right. His team was good.
I had
if he set his lineup, he'd be second place.
Right. He got to the 9th round of picks. I'm like, wait.
Somebody got all Kentucky.
Man,
got
stop playing.
Big Blue Nation, man. If you ain't down with Big Blue Nation, you ain't down with nobody, man. I'm telling you that, man.
Hey, man, I know Adolph Rupp was Adolph Rupp, man.
Man, I don't give a damn about Adolph. He gonna be all right. He dead. We ain't worried about him. 92, man. Jamal Masburg, Travis Ford, man. Them been my guys ever since.
Hey, Adolph Rupp wasn't woke yet, man.
That's
all. My boy Tubby got one, though.
Tubby got one. 98.
Oh, my God. Y'all got me rolling.
Talk to me, MJ. Talk to me. Do you see Giannis in Milwaukee if they don't complete the task this year?
5 years ago, a team went 73-9. And in the Western Conference, another team had that 73-9 team up 3-1. And their superstar player was going into free agency. And I told individuals, there's no need for him to do anything but stay where he is or go to the team that beat him, which I don't see happening. But if he goes to that team that beats him, grown man will cry. That's what I said. With Giannis, it's the exact same situation. If that boy does not make it to the finals, he is going to either go to Toronto, which, to be honest with you, I don't think will be a good idea because he will kind of be in the shadow of what Kawhi already built, or he can go to Golden State, which already has that blueprint lined up to where all we're really missing is a small forward who can win that one-on-one matchup so our shooters can be able to not be doubled and triple teamed. And we will keep winning games. And they got arguably the two best shooters ever to play the game on their team.
Healthy
with actual pieces that are enticing enough to be able to convince Milwaukee, y'all rebuild won't be that bad. They're going to have a top 5 lottery pick. And the draft is pretty good. They got players who may not be good for their roster, but really is not bad. They even got a hometown kid that I'm pretty sure they wouldn't mind bringing back. And the kid that was from Michigan, the guard, Jordan Poole, they wouldn't mind bringing Jordan Poole back to Milwaukee. So you throw him in, throw in that first round pick, throw in Andrew Wiggins for your troubles. They end up with Giannis. Now you got
your troubles.
Hey, look,
grown
man,
average 20 in the league. Talking about for your troubles.
No, because you got to understand, you got to balance things out. And when I say for your troubles, it's like you're still having a guy that averaged 20 in the league, so you at least made up for. I mean, Giannis will average 28, 29. So you at least accounted for 20 of those points. Jordan Poole averaged like 9 points in the league. So once again, I know it doesn't equal that way, but at least you can make it make sense to be like, okay, if they play minutes and play them hard, and we got this number 1 draft pick coming in, whoever it may be, whether it's Anthony Edwards, Jason Wiseman, LaMelo Ball, whoever it could be, it's something that you literally can sell to them and be like, you know what? We could have got worse. You know what I mean? But all in all, if they don't win, I think Giannis is going to Golden State and grown men will cry.
Is the great architect at Golden State, he's still there at Logo, right?
No, he at Clippers now.
He's at the Clippers.
With the Clippers.
Logo with the Clippers.
Man, God,
But as far as that Golden State setting, people like going there, being a small market. And for some reason, if they can pull that off and get Giannis, and they can get that draft pick of James Wiseman.
But I know you were gonna say James Wiseman. How did I know that?
Hey, let's talk about this too. Golden State won 2 titles with a dude that didn't even really like being there for real. That got out of there as soon as he can get out of there. And Kevin Durant. Mm-hmm. Giannis don't have the same mentality as Kevin Durant. He legit just want to win. So
I'm just happy to be here to play ball. I just want to win a championship.
That's all he owns. As funny as it is, that's all he's on. So Giannis,
hey man, I'm gone.
Years.
Hey Trav, you wild.
I'm out.
Hey, quick question. Who is Muhammad Yusuf?
That's Mo.
That's Mo. He just using Mo's sign.
Germ on the burner.
Hey, question actually, San Antonio get Giannis. I've yet to see San Antonio get like a major person with the exception of the trade that they got with DeMar DeRozan, but they got rid of Kawhi. So, I mean, I just don't think that's San Antonio's way. San Antonio didn't got Kelton Johnson to be nasty. Not to say he wasn't going to be nasty, but they just whoever they draft is just gonna be good. Like whoever Popovich get, he gonna make them good.
Basically,
Lonnie Walker is good right now, and nobody expecting anything from him. They don't need to make trades.
Hey, I don't mean to sound like this, but remember that first meeting we had, and y'all asked me what I was expecting out the bubble. All this come to pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
our whole bubble conversation came to pass.
5 years ago. This is the same dude that sent me tweets from 5 years ago saying literally what's happening. He's like Nostradamus.
You was right. I mean, I was talking about this. Like, I'm like, Denver just make up people that's good. Denver just making people up.
Like, man, they get on 2K20.
Denver making up people.
They get on 2K20 and get their measurements and stuff. 6'9", long arms. Hey, go to Denver. Then you get a tall, long black African. We're gonna name him Bowl.
Hey, hey,
And we gonna make him shoot, and we gonna make him shoot too. And Lord,
hey,
have
Denver
mercy.
is using their VC wisely.
They got all the virtual points, all of them.
Their
All of them.
VC is ridiculous. I did not know Mo's name was Muhammad Yusuf. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Hey man, you learn something new every day, G.
I thought his last name was really Sheffield.
Hey, I did too for a long time though.
Hey,
Hey,
all I
man.
can tell y'all is this is one of them situations where we had a very, very good conversation. If we go back and replay the bubble conversation we had beforehand, we talked about players being able to play in this situation because there's not as much pressure because you don't have 30,000 people behind you. That came to pass. We talked about Portland being a team that could make a run. That came to pass. We talked about a lot of the stuff that happened. The only thing we didn't talk about was the Phoenix Suns, Kobe Bryant. We didn't talk about the Phoenix Suns being able to be where they are right now, being 7-0 in bubble play.
Shout out to Devin
Who could
Booker.
have predicted that?
Big Blue Nation, man.
Hey, that's Paul George's fault.
Hey, shout out to Melo, 26-8 tonight. We ain't talking about that though.
Hey,
Where A-Walk? Where is A-Walk?
Skinny Mellow, hashtag.
A-Walk is my brother. He loved Melo, he loved Pat Bev. A-Walk, that's my twin brother from Philly.
Hey, I'm just being honest with y'all when I say, when we was in the chat talking, Trav, what did I say? I said Melo. They needed two buckets down the stretch. Two buckets down the stretch. Melo sent the three both times.
Melo got he got
the game time assist.
Guys, to Melo. That's a hashtag.
Hey, make the hashtag. We will support it.
No, it's already been hashtag. A-Walk and myself, we were champion for Melo. We champion for Pat Bev. We need to get A-Walk on the show, on the Zoom. I will make time because I got to see my brother.
We will make that happen. We will make that happen. Believe me, we will make that happen.
Like this. Me and A-Walk is like Beans and Freeway.
Yo.
Oh my God.
On that note, man.
On that note,
this is the scene. This is where it all goes down at 94 feet of life.
Man, what? This is a bad scene right here. Beans and Freeway though. Dang.
The scene. This is where it goes down when you get everything in one, man.
I had to show love. If we ain't Beans and Freeway, we Chris and Neef.
Chris and Neef. I knew it. I knew it was coming.
Nope, the Beans and Freeway.
Beans and Freeway. I knew he was about to say that. But yeah, man.
And Sparks.
Hey, man. On that note, man. Catch us everything on the scene, man. Catch us in the group 94 Feet of Life. Petty Sports Network. Hey, this is brought to you. Hey, get the gear. MJ right here, man. Get your gear.
Get the cookies.
I got on
cookies,
the pants,
ham.
I got
get
the
them
shirt.
up for that.
I got it on right now. I'm walking around here looking like Ace. Only thing I need is the bucket hat, and it's going. If I get the bucket hat, then it's paid in full. Then it's over with. Then.
Hey, man.
it said Beans and Freeway.
On that note, man, we closing out, man. We gonna get over with y'all later, man.